So hopefully we're going live now. We are live. Yay. Oh my God. I'm so excited to have Jenni here today in the group sharing, and Jennifer in here today sharing her story. I keep saying Jenni because my OBM's name is Jenni. So I'm sorry, Jennifer. But I just want to say, first of all, Jennifer, where are you in the world?
I'm in Queens, New York.
She's in Queens, New York. And Jennifer, do you want to tell everyone what you said to me when you said, first of all, you joined the program and you were like, I want you for what? Why did you join?
I'm pretty sure what I said to you was, Patricia, I swear to God, if Feng Shui is the thing that gets me a husband, like I don't even know what I would do. Like that can't possibly be. So look, I mean, obviously like I was, and I've said this to you before, like from the moment I met you, I was just like super like attracted to like whatever you were selling or talking about or doing. And I loved the idea of, just like having your home be energetically aligned for everything. So it was for everything, but there was a specific focus because you were like, I can get you a husband. And I was like, well, let's go.
So we weren't too long into the journey and you were like, and
yeah, I mean, I don't remember exactly when we started working together, but yeah, like at some point we had connected and you were like, oh, and eventually you're going to meet somebody. I was like, oh no, I did already. It already happened.
That was like pretty quick after getting your remedies in. I think that was pretty soon after getting your remedies in, maybe 2 months or something. I think
I don't even know if it was a full 2 months. And like, it took me, it wasn't like, I instantly got everything in place. There was like, it was like a process. And so it was like, as I was going through the process of implementing all of the things, I met this person and kind of like didn't think twice or like notice anything. And then like all of a sudden you and I connected again. And I was like, oh, I think this is like a thing.
So good. So Jenni, I know loads of things have like shifted since you started the program to do the Feng Shui, and I would love you to share some of those things, like because you with your business, with your work as well. So like the love is one great aspect, but
yeah. So two things that are like, I don't know if surface level is the right word, but they totally count to me. I mean, for one, just like being in my space just like feels really yummy. It like this does, like regardless of like any result, like because that in and of itself like is a thing, right? I just like, oh, I freaking love my apartment. Like it's so amazing. And one of the coolest things is that like sometimes, at least when I first started putting everything in place, people that had been in my apartment before would walk in and they would go, nothing looks different, but it feels different. And I can't quite like, what? Like people were so confused, but they like noticeably felt something. So there's like that stuff. And then I don't know, it just kind of feels like there's a lot more alignment in all of the areas of my life. Like business was always an area where I was particularly strong in, business and finance. And I know our initial report was like, your house is good for money and bad for people. And I was like, oh, that sounds like my life. That makes a lot of sense. But there's even more money. And the energy around it is different. It comes from a different place. It's I don't know how to explain it, but everything just feels a little bit more aligned. And then, obviously I did meet somebody that I've now been in a pretty serious relationship with for about 6 months. Yeah, I just freaking love my apartment.
I love it. So Jennifer, I know that like you joined and when we did your thing, because I actually, when you signed up, I was like, her place is definitely good for money, because I kind of knew you from a group that we're in. But what was so fascinating was that I have, like, of course it's good for money, but there was a shift that you wanted to see in your business, or that your business, I just recently you shared about the change in your business, like how it's shifted in a better way.
Yes. I mean, I think, again, making money is something that I've always been good at, but it has come from like a very almost like manic place where it wasn't necessarily healthy. Like ultimately the result at the end of the day, like looked good. But it was very stressful at times, and I was kind of doing everything myself. And now there's this shift that's happened like sort of slowly and progressively over the last 6 months where I've brought on a lot more support. It feels a lot easier and less stressful. I mean, even just like this is my office, which like office isn't the right word. Like it's like an oasis. Like I just like love it. And I mean, even just the energy of working in here versus the office I used to have makes the making of the money feel totally and completely different. The running of the business feel totally and completely different.
I love it. I love it. Jenni, Jennifer, there's a lot of people on here today probably listening, and it's the last day before the doors close for Powerhouse. And I would love you to just share, like, what would you say to people who are considering joining? Like, in terms of like the implementation, in terms of like the support, anything that you'd like to share.
I mean, I honestly, and again, this is how I felt when I first met you, like you should just buy anything Patricia's selling. Like that would just be smart, I feel like, for most people that are watching and listening to this. It felt like for me, and especially like if anybody, and I would imagine a lot of people in your world are familiar with, sort of spirituality stuff and energy work and all of that. And it almost felt like a completion of, oh, I'd been doing all of the stuff for myself and the personal development, but like, I wasn't really like bringing that aspect into my space. And so it felt like this completion of all of the other work that I've done. And I think, I've heard you say this in some way, shape, or form. It's like getting your home to work with you instead of against you. Like it's not rocket science. It's just that like the energy of your space is working with what you're trying to do. And so it just kind of felt like a no-brainer. And, it does feel like this is something that will be part of my life forever. And obviously like the support from you is awesome and amazing. And yeah.
Thank you so much. As you said that, I have shivers through my whole body about that sense of completion in full circle. I was just like, it's just so true. And for me, that shivers is just that sense of like, it's truth. Like, there's so many people here that have been doing so much work and wondering like, why am I not like, why am I still frantic? Or why is it still not, why is it still hard? How can we get into that sense of flow?
Yeah, and I think for anybody on that journey, right, there are layers. Like first you do mindset, right? And then you're like, oh, like then there's the other layer of like energy, and oh, then there's this other layer of body, and oh, and it's just like, more and more layers. And I love that path and that journey. And this was just like another one. Oh, like why wasn't this part of it all along? Okay, this just like makes so much sense.
And there's, I think, also a divine timing for it, because like I feel like you came in at the time you were doing a lot of personal development. You've done so much for personal development on yourself and so much work yourself. And like, you've like changed so much, just like visibly, energetically. Your business has completely transformed in front of my eyes since we originally met last year.
I think that's so true. And I probably don't even like realize all of the things like where I just find myself saying like, oh, like life just like feels better and looks better. Like, I guess there are like all of those like little things, but there's just like a lot of flow into this space. And I think too, obviously like right now, depending on where people are in the world, like we're in our homes, like a lot because you can't really go anywhere. And so it's just like, oh my God, like why would you not want to put in like all the extra energy to like making the space that you're in potentially 24/7, like with family members and all that stuff, like just like have it be like as magical as possible.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for coming and sharing your journey. It's just so beautiful to see you kind of like flourish and transform and call in love. And I do remember like that you were like, I met the guy. That's how it already happened. And he keeps giving me all these gifts and all these presents. And I was like, oh my God, amazing. And I'm like, hey, Ken, to get me some more presents.
Yeah, hey, Ken. No, it's so funny. And I think I've told you this before. Sometimes he'll like pick something up or touch something and be like, hey, what's this? And I'm like, don't touch that. That's the reason you're here. Don't touch that. Put that down. Leave that alone. So I created you. I manifested you. He's like, okay.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So this is just it. It's about like stepping into more flow and just more abundance and just calling it in. And thank you, Jennifer, for coming and sharing your journey. For everyone, our doors are closing this evening, midnight PST, which is tomorrow morning Irish time. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. We're all here, my team, supporting everyone to let you know that we just want more magic for you all. And if you haven't seen or heard all of the testimonials, it really is just magical experience and journey. And I want more. Like, my fun part of this work is like coming on calls and be like, so what else has happened? And then it's like, it's amazing. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jenny, thank Jennifer. And for everybody, I'm going to be going live tonight. We had the theme of Jennifer attracting love, but tonight's call that I'm doing is going to be all about love and relationships, and all relationships, and creating that harmony within all relationships, because Jennifer totally pointed out the fact that we're all at home at the moment, not just with our partners, or maybe single wanting to call someone, but there may be children and other people and all of that, and that brings its own stress. And we're going to talk about that in terms of from a feng shui perspective. So
one more thing. I just want to say one more thing, because I realized I didn't mention it, and if I were listening to this, I would be thinking about this one thing. I was single for like 5 years. Like it was true. Like, I just want to make sure I'm being clear of like how much this area of my life was not working, like at all. Like it was like very bad. And to go from that to just like, oh, and this is just like great, and it's just working and it's perfect, like literally in like a matter of months. I just realized I didn't like properly clearly distinguish that, and like that is 100% the truth.
So and I actually didn't know that either. So now I'm
so bad. Like it was like literally like dead and stagnant and lifeless, like, oh my God. And yeah, now it's like, oh no, I do just have like a regular, normal, healthy love life. Like that's just the thing that I have now.
I love it. I love it. I love it. To more of that, to more manifesting so much love for everybody. We all want it for you. And that's why, like, Jennifer took time out of her busy day. People want to do these like interviews with me because they're like, yeah, of course I want to tell everyone how amazing things have happened.
Yeah. Totally.
So just imagine yourself here, it be in like 6 months' time, telling about your love life or your business or whatever. And that's part of this journey. Thanks, Jennifer. Have a great day. Thank you, everyone, for joining this live. And we will see you all tonight on our live. And if you have questions, feel free to reach out or post in the Facebook group. All the videos are up and available on the concierge page for you to watch and to catch up, because they will also be going away, as I will be diving in to support all these new members into our Powerhouse program. Thank you. Have an amazing day. Goodbye, everybody.